Okay, awesome. Okay, well, first, thanks for coming. I'm so excited. I know a lot of people on our team are always asking about Instagram, and for some reason, people just stress over it, and it's scary to a lot of people. So we're just gonna go over how to make it so simple and not overwhelming and just really have fun with it, because I honestly love Instagram. Like, I would say that Facebook is definitely my biggest one I use for the business, but Instagram is just fun, like making things look cute and making like a cute profile. Like, I don't know, there's something about it that to me is just so fun. So I'm really excited to share with you guys all the tips I have for this. And okay, so the first thing I'm gonna just like briefly go over with Instagram, and it makes it sound so bad, but it's true, that the main thing you need to know with Instagram is that you need to constantly be working on your followers because Instagram, unlike Facebook, where people really don't give a crap how many Facebook friends you have, like people don't even look at that. On Instagram they do, and it is the first thing they look at. So as like selfish as it sounds, the main thing you need to focus on at all times is your followers. So what you need to know is that every single day you need to be following new people on Instagram. And they have recently, like, there used to be apps that you could use for that, but you can't anymore because Instagram blocked all of them. And now they literally shut down accounts if they find out that you're using like bot accounts to get your followers up. So you have to manually follow, and you can do, it's called 200 actions a day. So by actions, that means following or unfollowing. So like pick what you're on. So what I used to do until I got to, because you can only follow 7,500 people on there, right? So you can have as many followers as you want, but you can only be following 7,500. So until I got to that, what I would do is I would constantly like just follow every day. And then once I like got to that number, then I would go find out who is not following me back. And I would do 200 unfollows every day to bring it back down. And there are apps you can use to help with that part, which is super cool. So the one that I use is called Followers Plus. I have an iPhone, so I don't know if it's available for Android, but there might be other options. But it just looks like it's literally oh, that is not the right one I clicked. It's like a person with a plus sign. So if you click that one, it'll take a while to like load because it goes through everything. But it looks like this. And what it'll do is it'll tell you who's not following you back. And while you still don't want to get blocked, so you like, I don't actually unfollow people from within the app, but what I can do is once it loads, I can go in, it says 2.6K followers not following me back. So I can go in, see this whole list of all these people that aren't following me back. And then, so I'll go to like the first person here, Samantha Mansfield. Sorry if that's somebody called you. I just picked the first one at the top. And then I will go into my Instagram, find that person, and unfollow them. So even though it takes like a little bit more time, you can still use these apps to see who is not following you back, and then go into Instagram and just like quickly go through a whole bunch of them. And so just do like sections of like 25 people at a time, or whatever you can manage to do your 200 a day. So while it's not fast being able to do it within the app anymore, you can still use it to let you know who's not following you back, okay? So every day you want to be doing your 200, whether it's following or unfollowing, okay? And the reason it's so important is because Instagram, you guys, is not something that will happen overnight. Like, it just won't. Like, if you are not constantly building your Instagram, working on it, like just showing your face on there every single day, it won't happen for you. Like it's just one of those things where if you're not all in, like you're just not in. Like there's no like in the middle with Instagram. You're either in or you're out. So you have to decide that like you want your Instagram to be serious, and then take it very serious. Because what ends up happening is if you're just like not on there very often, so you don't have much followers, maybe you don't post very often, there's no stories, what's going to happen is one day you decide to work your business and you're going to go message some people, okay? Whether that be for the opportunity or for products, whatever it is. Let's say you just go and you message a few people one day. Every single person you message on Instagram is going to go check out your profile, okay? And if you have next to no followers and like they can see that it's not growing, they right away just write you off because like I said, Instagram is a numbers game, and the higher your followers numbers gets, people, it sounds so bad, but it's so true. People respect you more and will take what you say more seriously the more followers you have, because it makes you look legit, right? So like if I had 100 followers and I haven't been using Instagram for a long time, and somebody goes to my page because I messaged them about a business opportunity, they're gonna see 100 followers and like a non-active profile, and they're gonna be like, I don't think so. And they're just gonna either not answer or they're just gonna move on, right? But as it is right now on my account, like I'm very active on there. There's constantly stories going at me, and I have 12.3 thousand followers. They see that and they go, oh, okay, well, you can tell me about it, because they see that 12.3 thousand followers and they're like, oh, what does she do? And that number is what gets people serious on Instagram. So while it might feel slow and it might make you feel defeated about like, well, I don't have that many followers, like I have nothing, you have to work on it. Because even if, like, I started at 0 too, everybody starts at 0. But if you every single day just keep working at it, those people will see that. Because I guarantee, like, if somebody's interested, they're gonna go to your page, and even if you have 100 followers today, but a week from now, they go to your page and maybe you have like 400 or 500, and they're like, okay, it's growing, and they watch that continue to grow. Guess what? It looks like your business is continuing to grow. Like that number honestly reflects so much on Instagram. So if you're on here, you obviously want to use Instagram, right? Like you're wanting to take this seriously and know how to do it. So the first thing I'm going to tell you is you need to do your 200 actions every single day. Don't do it all at once. Like do it in like, I honestly will do like 25 to 50 at a time, but do it every single day. And what I like to do for growing that network is I'll just scroll through my newsfeed. I'll like interact on pictures. And if I see like, whether it's like a good selfie of somebody or like a really pretty girl or somebody who takes really good pictures, like anything that has to do with marketing, right? Like anything to do with nice pictures, I will then go and follow a bunch of people that like that picture because they can appreciate a nice picture, right? Like it just all goes hand in hand with what we do. So like, let's say for example, like the first one on my thing right now is like a really cute girl who is pregnant. Wow, that's like perfect potential material, right? So I'm gonna go to the people that liked her picture, and I'm just gonna scroll through and I'm gonna follow all the girls that also like, and I know it sounds so bad, like I'm not about looks at all, like don't get me wrong, but it's just an easy way to tell somebody that you think would be good at this, right? Is if their picture is like a really good picture of them or like a cute selfie, they obviously take pictures and would be good at this, right? Like don't get me wrong here, like I'm not a mean person, but it's such an easy way to go down the list and see like, oh, that's a cute girl, and then just follow all the cute girls, because you know that it's not like some creepy man or like somebody without a profile picture, right? Like it's just so easy to tell who like is a legit page that like you would want to follow, right? So just go through, follow a bunch of girls, done. And it's so easy to bring it back to the KPI too, right? Because one thing we're supposed to do is like to comment to on a bunch of profiles, and I'll go through more of like ways I do that, but that's such an easy way too, is to just go through your timeline, interact on the ones that you like, and then go follow the people that like their pictures or even their followers. Like just follow people who like the pictures that you are liking. Like such an easy way to do it. But another way that I'll show you guys, actually, okay, hold on, give me a second. This is when I'm gonna come onto my phone. I'm gonna make my phone the host so I can screen share with you guys. Okay, give me 2 seconds here. Hopefully this works. Now I'm going to screen share. How did I figure this out before? Give me 2 seconds. Share. Now it's not giving me the Zoom option. Oh my gosh. Wonder if I have to. Okay, what the heck? Oh, I'm connected. Sorry. Okay, it used to, before when I was doing this, it would give me like a Zoom option, so I would share to the Zoom, but now it's not. So anyways, I'll just explain it to you guys. But when you go to your Instagram, at the top where it says you're following, you can actually click following, and at the top, I'll just wait for it to load so I can show you exactly what it looks like. At the very top, it now says least interacted with and gives you a list of 50 people right at the top of your thing, okay? So if you're not open, if you haven't like seen this or know what I'm talking about, go to your following right now. And at the very top, it should say least interacted with, and it'll give you a name and 49 others. So at all times, there's a list of 50 people at the top of your following that you haven't interacted with. So what I do is I will then go into there and I'll start at the top and I go to this first person and I'll just click on her following. And if your name is at the very top of their list, which for this girl it is not, that means they're not following you. So I'm just gonna unfollow her because she isn't following me. So if I message her, she's gonna have no clue what I'm talking about, right? So I don't wanna reach out to her because she didn't follow me back. And I will just keep going through and checking this list of 50 people. And okay, the second person is, my picture is on her following list, right? So then for her, I'm gonna do the like to, comment to, so which knocks off the KPI, but then I'm gonna message her for the opportunity. So it's a really easy way to bundle different tasks together, but also get a lot of work done at once because I'm gonna interact and then message her, and that also helps them answer you because they see that you actually were looking at their picture, right? Like you were, because you always want to have your message with like a compliment, like I like your profile, I like your pictures, like whatever, come up with a genuine compliment. And that makes them see like, oh, okay, she actually was looking at my stuff because she liked a bunch of it right before she messaged me. So that is a big one that I would do, is that list of 50 people. And when you go through it, it then switches it up. So the next time you go in, the people you unfollowed aren't in there. And it gives you a list of 50 new people that you can then go interact with who you have not interacted enough with. So super, super helpful. And then, okay, I'm gonna see if, I'm just gonna like keep seeing if it like gives me this zoom option again. I don't know why it's doing that. No, okay. Okay, that's okay. So the next thing that I want to go over is what your profile wants to look like on Instagram, okay? Or what you should want it to look like. So the thing with Instagram is it's very different from Facebook in a way that like you want it to look nice, right? Because when you go to an Instagram profile, you don't scroll through like the statuses and the shared posts and like all that stuff. When you go to it, you literally have first impressions that you have to give to somebody. Like they go to your profile and they're like, they either like it or they don't like it, right? So you want to always like only clean pictures, like bright colors, nothing to do with like just a picture of It Works products. Like if it's you drinking coffee, awesome, like that's cute, right? But don't ever put something up that's going to look like an advertisement. So like an actual picture of just the product, because they're gonna see that, and guess what? They're not gonna follow you back because they right away see, oh, she's trying to sell something. Because you basically put an advertisement on your page, right? So it's very different from Facebook in a way of like, it needs to look very personal and not, it can look businessy in like a professional fancy way, but not in a way of like you're trying to sell your followers stuff, right? So never put something that looks like an advertisement, especially, or like the black, green bling that everybody used to post, right? Like don't put that on your Instagram page. Like put, if you want to like make a product post, absolutely, but find like a really cute picture of like you drinking the coffee or like you holding it, or like something to do with you, so that it does not come off as an advertisement page, because people will not follow that back. Yeah, so in the chat, so Glenda said, so basically all the business then should be in stories. So what I do is like, I most definitely do lifestyle posts on my thing. So like they look like selfies and just like cute pictures, right? But anybody who would actually like read the post, it still is talking about the business opportunity, like of my lifestyle post, right? Like any lifestyle posts that I post on Facebook, I'll still use the caption and put it with a cute picture on Instagram if I really like that post. But any products or things that are specific to the business that like you would read it and know exactly what I'm talking about, those are all in my stories. Okay, so like when you go to here, like you do not see, I don't know why it's not like letting me screen share on here. If anybody has tips on like how to do that, it was working for me earlier, but now it is not, which is really freaking annoying. Let me try one more time. And okay, yes. So lifestyle posts have to have the IDS, right? Yes, that is correct. So basically what they say for that on Instagram is you have to put it the second picture. So like it doesn't have to be within your picture that you post on your profile, but it has to be the next one that you swipe to. So you would just do the option when you go to make a post, you would click that you want to add multiple pictures and you would add the one that you're actually wanting to do first. But then the second picture, you would make the IDS so that if somebody were to swipe on your lifestyle picture, that would be the next thing that they see. So yeah, you don't have to worry about having it on the first picture. You just have to add it to the post. Okay, yeah, it's not working. So hopefully you guys can just like, if you're not following me on Instagram, just go follow, like you can go like look at what I'm trying to explain to you. But yeah, so like I said, cute pictures, like make them really, I hate the word attractive, but like make it something that people will want to look at, right? And another way to do that is use like filters or presets. So filters are a lot easier. Like you can get, I use the app PicTapGo. It's like a yellow thing with like a big eye. They have so many good ones that you can just edit your pictures with on there. Or a preset, if you're not sure what a preset is, there you can get apps for it, but then I use what's called Lightroom. So it's like this one with the big L. And what that is, when you pick a preset, those usually aren't free, like the free apps, but you can definitely find really cheap ones. And what that does is when you pick out one specific one, I'll show you what I mean. So if I go into my Lightroom, what it does is then you then save the picture of the preset that you like. So for example, the one I use on all my Instagram posts is this picture here, okay? It's hard to tell the quality, but it's like a blush pink picture. And when you use this app, you then go and like you add the picture that you want to do. So let's say, for example, the last lifestyle post I did was this picture, okay? It's a selfie. You then just go into settings and you literally hit paste. And what it does is it then adds the exact same, it's basically like a filter, but it's just called a preset, but it's basically a filter. But it adds the same filter then to every single picture to give every single picture that you add to your Instagram the exact same like color scheme, everything, so that they all match, right? So then when you go to my Instagram, when you scroll down, every single picture is the same like blush pink gold like tone type thing. So it just makes your whole thing come together. And you don't have to do that, but it's just something like if you really want it to look really fancy and professional, it's a really simple way to just add that to every single picture so that they all blend together and look really, really nice. So it is fun to do, but yeah, like I said, not necessary. So this app was called Lightroom. So it's like a black square with an L in it. I believe you need the app presets first though, because what I did is I had this presets app. So it's a black one with a camera. I'll type it in here for you guys. So it's just called presets and then Lightroom. So what you would do is you pick the preset that you want. It'll explain to you how to like get this all set up. But basically you pick the one preset that you want and then it'll let you save that picture once you, the yellow one was called PicTapGo. So that's more like the filter editing one. So you pick the preset that you want and then you add it to Lightroom. So then once you've picked out your preset, like I never actually use the presets app again because I have the one that I use. And it's so simple. Every time you just go into this Lightroom app. So I'll just walk you guys through it. So you go into Lightroom and then you would just hit add picture, camera roll, and then you pick like which picture you're wanting to add from your camera roll, right? So once I add that picture in, it's literally just a matter of going back to, so every time I go in here to that one picture I showed you guys that has the preset attached to it, and you go in here, you hit copy settings, okay, and click the check mark. So now it says image copied, and then you just go back to the picture that you're trying to add. Again, hit settings, and then on this one, you would just hit paste settings, and it just automatically does it. So like it's so simple to just do this to all your pictures. so that they all match on your Instagram. So not mandatory, but definitely it puts your whole page like just in a whole theme. Just makes it look nice. Okay, so then the other thing I recommend for like attractiveness on your page is highlights. So this is where it gets like a little bit confusing, but it's so fun and I love doing it. Okay, so I wonder, you know what, I can probably screen share. How do I, okay, sorry, give me 2 seconds. I know I'm like a hot mess, but this is literally what it's always going to be. Like, this is my life. Always going to be a hot mess. Okay, there we go. So now I am the host on my computer again, so I can go in. Okay, so I'll show you guys what I mean. Okay, let me know if you guys can all see this. But so when you go to my Instagram profile, and again, you can right away see what I mean by the pictures, right? Or if you can't, then I apologize, but you should. Like, they all have like the same blush pink, like light brown type tone to it, right? So they all go together. Even my car one, I was kind of sad about the car one, if I'm honest, because it made it not look yellow. Wasn't a fan of that, but wanted it to all match, right? And then this one, I totally, this time with my car, left it out. So I was like, no, it wrecked the picture, like screw it. This one is not getting the filter to it. So when you go to here, you see all these highlights at the top, right? And what that does is what I do, so my stories are going at all times. Like I said, like I honestly don't post on Instagram that often. Like if we look at this one was posted yesterday, literally just yesterday. This one was posted 3 days ago. Like I am not super consistent with posting actual posts because I only post the ones that I really, really like, right? Like this one was back September 11th. Like I honestly, I do not post that frequently. This one was September 8th. So it's honestly like every 3 to 4 days, I'll put an actual picture up. But because I want my page to look so nice, right? But my stories are going at all times because the algorithm for stories is that whoever posted most frequently in their stories stays at the top of the timeline, right? So let's say if I go to my home screen, my name will always be at the front, right at the front here, because I'm always adding to my story. So even if like I'm not posting an actual picture that often, people don't like actually know that, right? But they just watch my stories all the time. And then if they are to go to my page, they're not checking like when these posts were done, right? Because they see I was online because they were just watching my stories and that's what they right away go to, right? So always, always, always stories. Just make the ones that you actually post should be with like a cute picture and like a post you actually like, right? So, but in my stories every day, you will see stuff about the business. You will see me using the products. You will see my face. That is a big one too. Every single day, put your face in your stories because then they see who you truly are, not just these Instagram pictures and like the perfect, like put together life, right? Like they see you, they get to know you and they trust you. And that is a big aspect in bringing distributors in. So even though I want my page to look perfect, my stories are nowhere near perfect. Like I will try to make them cute, but like my hot messness face is still gonna be in there without makeup. Like I'm still just gonna be like showing myself working because that's when like you will truly bring people in and they'll relate, right? Because they might see this really cute page, which like gives them maybe a little bit of interest. But then when they can see you being your true self in your stories, that's when they're like, hey, I like this person. Like, I actually feel like I relate to this person. And that makes them follow you, right? So every day, I don't know if I've done a video yet today, but I will. So like, you'll see like random stuff, like from our life, like our squats thing and then business, right? So I posted something about planning a training for how to help my team make a full-time income on Instagram. So always something about the business. 5 spots left to get started working for social media. So again, business and then cute quotes. I recently just really started doing like, I made this highlight today. This is what I'm trying to explain to you, of healthy ideas. And so what I've done for that is anytime I do something to do with like health because we're a health business, right? I will then add it. This is what a highlight is, you guys. So you can add it to these highlights on your page so that they can scroll through and see whether it's like healthy meals or like short little workouts. Like you can give like free or cheap ideas to show people like what you do without it having to be active in your stories at that exact moment, right? Because you can't post the same things every single day. But if they go to your page, they can see whatever you wanted them to see, right? So like, for example, my story, if they were to click on my story, which a lot of people do, I really wish it would show you guys views on this. That was something they recently got rid of with an update. It used to show you how many people in total have watched it, and it was a big number, but they got rid of it, which is really unfortunate. But let's say, for example, they come to my page, they're going to click on my story, right? This is the one with the highest views, because people go to your page and they're like, oh, okay, like, what is this? So when they go through this at any given time, even if it's not in my story that day, they can scroll through and see, oh, it does say it on the bottom. So 950. So it just doesn't say it on your phone anymore. So these have close to 1,000 views. So even though that might not seem like a lot, that's 1,000 people that have scrolled through my highlights. So imagine if you keep up with these years from now, that's like a lot of people that have seen these highlights, right? So, or another one, like this one is totally random, you guys, biggest puzzle. But I swear I have so many people that literally follow this story. For some reason it doesn't want to load. But like, if for anybody that doesn't know me, I have, it's not anymore, which really sucks. But for the longest time, it was the biggest puzzle in the world. It recently got outdone by like some other picture, by Kodak, actually, like the camera company. And it's a bunch of like pictures of around the world. I was like, hey, that's annoying. So it's unfortunately not actually the biggest puzzle. Not that that matters, but it matters to me. But so many people actually follow that because it's something like, it's cool, right? Like it was a freaking expensive puzzle that a lot of people, like I kid you not, probably 500 people total in the time since I started it have made a comment about like, wow, I wish I could do that, but like I can't afford that, but I would love to watch you do it. I can't wait to see this done. Like it's just something interesting to bring them in, right? Like you always want to have something that brings, I don't know, whether it's like inspiration or like it's funny, like something that is about you that will make your followers want to follow you, right? Like you're giving them something to actually watch. So yeah, so even though that one is random, it's not, because it brings them to me and it's about me, right? And I talk about it all the time, so it's something we're working on. Or like this one, the traveling one, is like anytime we go somewhere for the business or just traveling for fun, I post it in the traveling highlight so people can see, I don't know why they're not loading. They can see us like living the life, literally traveling while making money. So like when we, oh, sorry, that was loud. When we went to Australia, like it's full of pictures of us like with kangaroos, like stories about me working my business while being in Australia. Like that's another one that people go through, right? Because a lot of people want to travel. So if you can, even if it's just to like conference in Florida, like share that, like you're in Florida making money from your phone. Share that and share it everywhere. Like people would love to travel, right? This other one I recently did, extra income, is just like whenever I talk about the business, I'll often put it in there. But feedback, I started the other day, and if you can get your team to do this, I highly recommend it. What feedback is I started, just like a lot of businesses have business reviews in their highlights, I did kind of like reviews for our team, right? Because a lot of people don't join because they're scared that like they're not gonna have help, like they're gonna feel left out, like things like that, right? So I got my team to send a bunch of messages and like basically positive feedback on being part of the team, so that this whole feedback highlight is like positive things from people on my team about loving being part of the team and the business. So it's just a way for them to go through this and be like, dang, like, okay, so this is a good environment. Like, obviously, if our team loves it, I'm gonna love it, right? So it's just a really simple way to almost have like business reviews, but in a very like much more personal way. So that's another one I really like. So I see in the chat, how do you make a highlight? So what you do, there's no limit to how many you can have, but when you add to your stories, you can then go in, and I don't know if I can do it on a computer, but when you're on your phone, there'll be a thing at the bottom of your story that's like a heart, I believe it is. I'll see if you can see it when I go on my phone. Okay, so let's stop screen sharing for a second so I can show you. So when you go on your phone, okay, there's a thing at the bottom that says highlight right here with like a heart with a circle around it. You're gonna hit that. So like, let's say for example, this one with the squat challenge, I could technically add that to like the healthy ideas one, right? So let's say I'm gonna hit the highlight button, and then it asks you which highlight do you wanna add it to, and you can pick which highlight, or the first option is to make a new one. So you can then pick what you are wanting to add that specific story to. So it's super easy to just go through your story and just add it to whichever one that's existing, or if you're wanting to make a new one. And then same if you're wanting to edit it and add more, you just hold down on the highlight and just hit edit. I know it's so hard to read, I'm sorry, but it says edit highlight. You just hit edit, and then it shows you all your stories, and you can go through every story you have ever posted. Even if it's like way in the past, you still have the option to scroll through all these stories you have ever posted and pick to add them to these new highlights. You can literally create a new one at any time of like any theme of stories that you've ever added. So I definitely recommend using highlights, because it honestly, like, I've had so many people reach out and they'll say something specific about a highlight that I have, because people do watch that, especially if you're like potential distributors, for example. Like, they really on Instagram like want to know who you are and what you do before a lot of times they'll even reach out to you, right? So people, I promise you, go through your highlights. How do you add a cover picture? So for that one, yeah, because I actually don't have the cover photos in my stories either. So what you would do is go back to edit. So hold it down, edit highlight, and then at the top, it literally just, sorry, I apologize, it like will not focus, but it literally just says edit cover at the top. You can click edit cover, and then at the bottom, you can see that this is the camera roll picture, right? So you would just hit camera roll, and you just have to at least have what you want as the cover picture in your camera roll, because then you can click the picture and just choose that one. So it's honestly super simple to pick one that you haven't even posted, and I don't either. So like when you click on my highlight, like let's say for example the healthy one, like it's a really cute picture of like I don't know what that is, like a leaf, I guess, but it doesn't actually go to that because that wasn't actually a story. It's just the cover picture, right? So yeah, no, and that's why I wanted to do this training. Like, don't feel bad that like if you're making it too hard on yourself, like it's honestly so simple, and that's why I wanted to share this with you guys. It's just, don't post that often unless you truly love that post, but every single day be following or unfollowing and be going in your stories at all times so that your face is at the top of everybody's newsfeed at all times. And then just add those stories into highlights. So it's like albums. So even if all of this stuff is not on your page because you want your page to look nice, it is all in your highlights. You're constantly just adding them to basically like albums, so that at any time they can go through all the stuff about your business or your story, or like literally anything of each theme, so they see it all without actually having to look at like a mass amount of like random pictures, right? Is it better to link if you're meaning, let me know if you're meaning stories or not, but that is actually a common question I get too, because when you add a story to Instagram, there's often like there is a way to link it to your Facebook stories too, so it posts both at once. And I personally say no, do not do that. Because I don't know if it's for sure true, but they do say that if you link them, it can affect your Facebook algorithm really bad, because you manually added it into your Instagram, but to your Facebook, that was a bot that added the story in, right? So sometimes it won't actually bring your story to the front. Like people aren't seeing it because you didn't actually go in and add it, right? It was kind of like slipped in with like a third party. So you definitely get more views on your Facebook stories if you just do them separately. So what I do that actually leads into like another big part of what I do is I actually create all my stories in Facebook stories. Okay. So I'll just go in. So to make a story, you just click on your profile picture and then hit the plus sign in the top left. Okay. And it goes to like, you can take a picture, or you can just hit pictures at the bottom and like go through your camera roll. So let's say, for example, I have this cute picture. That's because I was making my highlight pictures. So I had this one saved in my camera roll, okay? So let's say I'm gonna make this into something for my story. I make them pretty just in Instagram stories. Like I make everything, basically everything, I guess not 100%, but like 99% of my stories are always made in Instagram stories. So I'll go in here, let's say I'm just gonna add like a cute quote or whatever. I'll even just add a bunch of hearts. So you type in, okay, I'm gonna add some hearts to it, whatever. Then I always go into you'll see there's like a happy face, okay, at the top, and that's like stickers. So it's like a square with a happy face. I'm gonna click on that, so you get this screen, right? And then I am going to hit, oh my gosh, this is hard to do. So GIF, okay? Or however you pronounce GIF, I don't know. I say GIF. I don't know. And it brings up all the GIFs you can add to it, right? So whatever I am adding, like let's say, for example, that one was about trees. Like I'll search random words. So that picture, oh, my mom's calling. That one was about trees, right? So I'm going to type in the word tree, and it brings up like cute trees. So let's say like, oh, that one's cute. So I'm going to click that one, and we'll like zoom that in, make it big. Oh, cool. We'll add like some moving stuff to my stories, right? Like super simple. Or let's get rid of those. And let's say, for example, I'm making a business one, and I'm going to say, like, I'm just going to type 5 spots left to work from social media. Okay. Let's say I'm going to put that in my story. But then what I often do is I'll go back into GIFs, okay, and I'll type in, one thing you can do is type in the word background, and then it then gives you backgrounds for behind your text. So let's say I like this like purple square here, okay? They always start out tiny, but just put your fingers on it, make it big, okay? I'm making a background, and then boom, I'm gonna move my words onto this background, and I'm just gonna make like a really cute themed story here. I know it's hard, you can't see the colors, but now it's like my writing is on a cute like purple background. And then I'm gonna go back in, and I'm gonna search like hearts, and I'm gonna pick really cute like moving hearts, and I'm gonna make those big, and then I'm gonna have that on there. Like in like 5 seconds, you can just make every story slide really cute with like moving pictures and things like that. Or another one I use all the time in GIFs is search the word tape, which sounds so random, but then it gives you different colored tape, right? So use that, zoom it in, it's now a background for your writing. Like you can literally get so creative with these and post stuff like this, like on every story, like boom, I just searched in the word tape, but there's now like another thing on my story that I can like put more words on. So I'll just make all my stuff in Instagram stories, and then I could just go to the top and I hit save, and boom, save to my camera roll. So I will then add it to my story here. Let's not actually do that before I forget though. And so now to my camera roll. So now I'm just gonna go to my Facebook and add the story, and I'm just gonna manually add it in that way. So I only made it on Instagram, but I manually put it into both, and it took no extra time because I just saved it to my camera roll, and then I just go manually add it to my Facebook story too. So highly recommend doing it that way rather than linking, because it really doesn't take more time. And I promise you, like it will help your views. Like I get so many views on my stories, you guys. Like my stories are honestly like 99% of my business. Like I do messaging and grow my network and host a post. Like I do all the things, but what really brings people in 99% of the time is that my potential, who I brought in from all these other aspects, will respond to a story because they were watching my stories, and that's what seals the deal. And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to try this coffee. Or okay, yeah, you got me, I want to work from social media, because I am constantly adding to my stories, and they're watching that. No matter how they got to my profile, they're watching my stories, and it is my stories that seal the deal almost every time. So promise you, it's so simple. Just make cute pictures and then manually add it to both. So I think, what else do I have to go over? Okay, so then for messaging, that's the last part left, I think, of what I had. Besides interacting, so you definitely always want to be interacting to make sure that they see your stuff, right? So for example, my Instagram is always set to public so that people can see it at any time, and I find you get a lot more followers that way. Obviously, like there's different opinions on that and whatever. I don't personally do host posts on Instagram, no. I used to, but I didn't find I was getting enough texts for it to be worth the effort of like messaging people, getting these stories up. Like for me, it didn't work. But I will still post in my stories about the giveaway. And if they do want in, I just get them to my Facebook. I just explain it to them and I'll get them to add me on Facebook, and I just go about it like normal on there. And I personally find a lot better results doing it that way because it's just bringing people to my Facebook to do it. But for example, one other thing, like yesterday I did one for our Apple Watch giveaway, but I did it differently and said to get entered to this one, follow me, tag 5 friends in the comments, and share this post to your story and tag me. And I got permission from Jackie, so if you're on our team, you can do that. She said anything that is bringing people to your network on different platforms, you can absolutely count as a host to post. So all these people are now following me, tagging 5 friends in the comments of this post and sharing it to their story. And anybody who actually shared it to their story and tagged me in it, I just screenshotted their story and I entered them. So that's another creative way to do it. So yeah, interacting, just like I said before, you can go through your news feed or go through the 50 people, but doing that every day is what's going to make people see your profile, make sure that like you're actually being viewed, because if you don't interact, they're not seeing your stuff, right? So super important on Instagram. And the last thing we will go over is messaging. So what I do is, I kind of touched on this already, but I go through that 50 least interacted and I will just message them for opportunity if I think they'd be good at it. But at any point, if I go through that again and I'm following somebody and I've messaged them and they read and didn't respond if it's an ongoing potential, I will absolutely like stay following them. But if I've messaged them and they read it, but they didn't respond, I will unfollow them, because then that takes them off of like my radar. So I'm not going to worry about messaging them. But it didn't make them unfollow me, right? They can still follow me. They're still watching my stuff. It just made me unfollow them so that I'm not going to reach out to them again. Like, I'm not going to see their name because they didn't answer me, right? But they can still see mine. I just unfollowed them. And you know, sometimes that's a little bit of like a kick in their butt too, because they're like, oh, she thinks I'm not serious. And if they are serious, they will then answer your message, right? So yeah, that's what I do. You can also just go into your following. So at the top, hit following, and you can then click, sorry, I'll just let it load so I can show you exactly what I mean. But there's a little arrow at the top here. You can click that and go date followed earliest. And so it'll then sort your following into the people you followed first. So then you can go through and you can start that way messaging too. It's a really simple way to just message more people. And I do the exact same thing there. If I've already messaged them and they didn't answer, unfollow. But if I go in and they are, like, we did talk, maybe I'll, like, if they haven't answered in a while, I'll follow up again. It's a really easy way to keep my following list or my followers list all potentials, because if they're not answering, they're gone, right? I'm not following them back. But if we talked, it's a really easy way to just keep going with them until at some point they either say like F off or they sign up, right? So yeah, I believe that's everything. So we went over posting, stories, interacting, all the things. If you have any questions, let me know. But yeah, Instagram is honestly so simple. I think a lot of people just overthink it. Like, the main things to remember is just only cute pictures, because people do not want to see advertisements on Instagram. They will unfollow you if it looks spammy, right? It's all about the numbers game. So every single day, it's so fast, you guys. It takes no time to follow 200 people a day. Like, even do it in 4 sets of 50 people, but it's literally so simple to be like, oh, this is a cute picture. I'm going to see who liked this picture and go follow all the girls that like that picture. Just go like boom, 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 25, done. Literally 10 seconds, right? Like, it literally is that fast. So every day, just make it a priority to do your 200 actions, only cute pictures, but be in your stories all the time, and just add those stories to highlights. And it just makes your whole profile look like a business, and people will take it seriously as they see your numbers growing and they see you active on there, right? So it's honestly as simple as that. So I hope that helped. If you have any more questions, you can always send me a message after this too, and I will help you. But yeah, I recorded this. If anybody needs this for your team after, let me know. And thank you for coming. I hope this helped.